Set blasters on full.
What's up guys, Gripe here with another review, and today we're going to check out the Marvel Legends Scourge figure, and this is part of the Red Onslaught wave. So just to give you a quick backstory on Scourge, it's a character who's been around since 1985, and there's actually been a few different Scourges. There's the original Scourge, there's also Nomad as Scourge, there's also Nuke as Scourge, and the most recent one that this figure is based on is Demolition Man as Scourge. And that's why you'll sometimes see this character referred to on the packaging as Demolition Man. So now we'll get back to the figure and check out the packaging. So you've got the Build-A-Figure logo in the top left. Underneath that, you've got the Legends Series logo. Below that, you've got the nice big window where you can see the figure and all the accessories. Below that, you've got the Wave logo, Captain America. And below that, you have the Mercenaries of Mayhem. And again, that's Scourge and Taskmaster. And on this side of the box, you've got a picture of Scourge. And on the back of the box, you've got a big picture of the two Mercenaries of Mayhem. In the top right, you've got a small write-up on the two Mercenaries of Mayhem. And on the bottom, you've got a picture of all the figures in the wave as well as the Build-A-Figure. And on this side of the package, you have a picture of Taskmaster. And on the top, you've got the Captain America shield logo. And on the bottom of the box, you have all the legal mumbo-jumbo. So now let's crack open the box and check out the accessories. And you get this really cool assault gun. You can see it's got a pretty nicely detailed sculpt on it. The paint on there is also fairly good. There are some small issues with it. And the overall color scheme is a little odd, but it is an homage to Demolition Man. You can see there's a little bit of overpaint here on the nozzle. And the shells are actually pretty good. There's a little bit of an issue on the side here, but otherwise definitely a solid accessory. And you also get this nice Desert Eagle style pistol. And again, it's a pretty good sculpt on here, nicely detailed. The paint on it is also pretty crisp. Again, it is in the colors of Demolition Man, so it does look a little weird, but I understand it. And you can see there's a little bit of overpaint here on this side of the grip, but nothing else too major. And he also comes with this combat knife. And this is just black and the brown for the Demolition Man color. But again, pretty solid sculpt on it. I mean, there's not a huge amount of details on this, but it is a nice accessory. And the Build-A-Figure piece that this comes with is the left leg for Onslaught. So now check out the Sculpt and Paint on the figure itself. And I have to say, this is a really awesome looking figure. I really like the paint as well as the sculpt on this. I think it's very unique and definitely very badass looking. You can see the head here is really nicely sculpted and painted. Great details on the mask there. The eyes look really good. I love the kind of gas mask style. Love the sculpt on it. It's nicely detailed. The ears also look good. It also has a good flesh tone. You can see a little bit of overpaint there. One of the very few issues I had with this figure, which is nice. And there's just a lot of really great little details on this figure. You can see the neck is all ridged out. The collar piece here looks really nice. There's a lot of details in it. I'm very surprised by the amount of detail that went into this figure. You usually don't see that on a Legends. And one of the things I really like about this figure is all the different textures that they've sculpted into it. You can see the texture here by the neck. Starts down here by the base of the neck, goes all the way around. It's kind of bumpy texture. Goes over to the back. They've also molded in some protrusions here that kind of mimic the mask. You've got a nice zipper line that goes all the way down the back as well. You can see that goes all the way underneath the harness there. And again, I was just really surprised by the level of detail in the sculpt on this. And you can see there's a few different things on the chest here that are really interesting. You've got this nice textured area here where the gray paint is. That's completely different than the rest of the torso. You've also got another one of those kind of gas mask-like protrusions on the side here. He's got these bowling ball shoulders, which look good. You can see the paint is a little scuffed up on the right shoulder here. And aside from the helmet, that's really the only issue with the paint. The arms look really good. A lot of nice details in there as far as straps. The elbow pads have this really nice silver detail on them. The hands look pretty good. He's wearing some nice gloves. The right hand has a separate trigger finger while the left is just all closed together. I also really like the harness that they put on him. The paint they use for the shells looks pretty spot on and is really well done. There's really no issues with the overpaint. The buckles are a nice silver color. Pouches all look good. I mean, probably could have used a wash on the pouch, but I'm really nitpicking there. He's also got this big sheath for the combat knife on the back here. He's also got this really cool leg holster, and he has one of those protrusions on his leg here as well, in between the straps there. You can see there's really nice paint on the buckles, nice and crisp, and a lot of nice details sculpted into the holster itself. The legs are also really nicely detailed. You can see all these different seams and wrinkles here. He's also got these nice silver knee pads, which are sculpted and painted well. Boots as well look really good. A lot of details on those with these different ridges and seams. You've got some nice wrinkles here by the ankle. And the bottom of the boot is really nicely sculpted as well. You've got some laces up top here. and some nice treads on the bottom. One of the weird things I did notice is his legs are kind of bowed oddly. I almost thought the legs were on backwards at first until I looked at the feet. You don't really notice it when you're posing him, but it does seem to throw his balance off a little bit. So now I'll check out the articulation on the figure, and he does look up a decent amount, but it is a little stiff, so you do have to put some force behind it. But he does look up about that far, and he looks down about that far. And again, the joint is a little stiff at first, but once you work it a little bit, it does loosen up some. You can rotate the head completely around. There is no pivot on the neck, and you cannot get any side-to-side movement. And you can raise the arms just about straight out, maybe a hair under, as you can see. You do have full rotation on the arm, and he does have a bicep cut. You can get that all the way around. He has double jointed elbows. You're getting maybe around 110 degrees or so. Swivel and hinge wrists. You can rotate the hand completely around, but you can only bend the wrist down that far, but he does go up a decent amount. And he does have a diaphragm joint, although it is a little bit limited when going back. As you can see, you're only getting about that much of a bend. He does bend forward a good amount, though. And you do have full rotation at the waist, and it's really not hindered at all by the harness. You can see the sheath is soft plastic. Legs go out a good amount. You can get almost a full split there. And he does kick forward maybe 80 degrees or so. And he does have a bit of a kickback, which is nice. He's also got an upper thigh cut, so you can get that around. And he does have double jointed knees. You can get a pretty good bend on it, but it really doesn't stay as far as you can get it. You can see you can get him to stay maybe around 100, 110 degrees. And he does have a boot cut. You can rotate that completely around. Ankles are limited. You can only get him up that far and down that far. It's just one click. It's pretty limited by the way they sculpted the boots. And there is no rotation at the ankle, but you do have a pretty good rocker pivot. You can see you can get him really far over, which is nice. So now I'll check out the size and scale of the figure, and he stands at right around 6 3/16 of an inch. And here he is next to the Captain America figure from the same wave and the Mark 43 from the Thanos wave. And you can see he is definitely shorter than both of them, and he is the shortest figure in this wave that I've reviewed so far. So overall, I am really impressed with this figure. I really love the way he looks. He looks super badass. He's got a great, nicely detailed sculpt on it. It also has a really good paint app with only 2 minor issues, which is nice for a Marvel Legends. He also comes with some pretty cool accessories. Although the color scheme is a little weird on them, I do understand it's an homage to Demolition Man. He's got some pretty good articulation, and again, just another really awesome figure in this wave. So I hope you guys enjoyed the review. Subscribe for more.